What is going on, guys? It is Daniel Wright, and you're here listening to another episode of Paving the Way. Happy Wednesday morning to you. I hope your week is off to a great start, and I hope you're looking forward to a good, strong finish to this week. Anybody who celebrates Christmas, the holidays, things like that, everybody kind of knows that after this week, after this Friday, everything's pretty much shutting down for the next week or so. So, like I said, I hope your week's been off to a good start. I hope you've got big things in store for the next couple of days, and you're going to finish with everything you got. Leave it all on the table. Empty the gas out of the tank and keep pushing that pedal right through the floor. So, I know at our company, that's something I kicked off the week with. We had our Christmas party this past Saturday. It was a great time, and I told everybody, Monday morning, I said, "Hey, we've got a lot of work to do this week. It's not going to be something where." Some companies, they just like to hang out for a little bit, eat all the food and, take it easy and things like that. Don't get me wrong. We enjoy the holidays around here just like anyone else does, but we also have a big mission we're trying to accomplish. And I hope you're doing the same thing. So guys, I want to get right into it today. The title for today's show is Able and Willing, right? So for anybody who follows my social media accounts on specifically Instagram and Facebook, I put out a post on my story, guess it would have been Tuesday morning, about kind of the differences between those things, right? And I'm talking more specifically when it comes to your professional life. You could relate it to your personal life, you could relate it to relationships, really anything that you're trying to accomplish in your life, wherever it may be. These things are relatable. And the reason I've been thinking about this is because obviously, like everyone else, as you're going into kind of the end of the year and getting ready for a new year, it's kind of when everything kind of hits a little bit of like a reset button, right? So whether it's, your P&Ls, all the work that you've done this year, all the sales that you've done this year, it's going to go to zero come January 1st, for most people, right? If that's your fiscal year and things like that. All the progress you've made, all the things you've gotten done, starting over. Everybody's got an even playing field. It's no different than sports teams who, you could go a perfect season one year. Well, the next year you all start out and you're all 0-0. Nobody has any wins on their books. So, right. The goal obviously is to keep that momentum from that previous year into, rolling into the next year. But nonetheless, as you wind down the year, it is a good opportunity to kind of reflect on where you've come from, where you're at, and where you're going. And one of the things that has been brought up a lot for us this year when it comes to just growing the company is, having people on your team who are able and willing, right? And here's what I mean by that. Every team, every company, every organization has certain roles that need fulfilled on a day-to-day basis. And there's certain seasons in a company's life that you may get freaking killer people, A+ people to fill that role. They are able to do the job, they're willing to do the job, and they're ready to rock and roll. And then all of a sudden, maybe you start pushing them a little bit. You start trying to give them some more responsibilities, or you start trying to, have them learn new things, right? Whatever that may be, you start pushing them nonetheless. And although they may be able, they may want to sit and kind of hang out in that comfort zone and say, I'm not really willing to take that on. I'm not really willing to learn that. I'm not really willing to, take on that responsibility or whatever it may be. Or on the flip side of it, you've got people who've always been so gung-ho and they can get the work done and things like that. And then you start having them try to take on new tasks, and they're trying and they're trying and they're trying and they're screwing them up and they're screwing them up and they're screwing them up. And so they are willing as heck, but they are maybe not able to do that quite yet, right? So the big thing right there is the difference between able and willing, right? Able, if you are not able to do something, minus, physical, disabilities or things like that would prohibit you from doing something. But nonetheless, if you're not able to do something, more often than not, you can learn how to do whatever the thing is you need to do, right? So you're not able to do X. Well, you can learn how to do X, whether you take classes, you do training, you put in the reps, whatever it may be, you just become able to do it. It becomes a skill, a talent, whatever it may be. On the flip side of that, if you are not willing to do something, well, that's a character situation. That's a choice that you're making internally. And like I put on the story on Instagram and Facebook the other day, it said, if you're able but not willing, then you are capping yourself, right? You are choosing to not take on new challenges and new opportunities and growing and things like that. If you are willing but not able, well, then you need to learn. Just start putting in the reps, learn what you need to learn, attend the classes, read the books, just whatever it may be, just start learning what you need to learn so that you become able to do whatever it is that you're trying to do or you're expected to do or being asked to do. And then if you are able and willing, then now is your time to step up. Now is your opportunity to show your team what you've got, to show your team what you're willing to do, what you're able to do. Because the more that you do that, the more that you get out in front of people and you show them those things, the more opportunity will be just magically presenting itself to you, right? And I say magically a little bit sarcastically, but it kind of is, it goes along with the law of attraction, right? The more that you're like trying to grow and develop and put in the work and get in the reps and just make things happen, the more opportunities will just be attracted to you. Whether it's that promotion, whether it's, a new, service that you can offer as a business, whatever it may be, wherever you're at, whatever you're trying to grow and do, those things just come to you when you put in the work, right? And that's one thing that we always have to remember is a lot of folks want to have the reward given to them before they put in the work. Well, you have to be able and willing to do the thing to get the reward before the reward will show up. That's just how life works. And I didn't make the rules. I just have learned to play by them, right? So along those lines is if you are able and willing and you're putting in the work and you're showing the folks around you what you're capable of and what you want to do, is it goes in alignment with a little acronym that I was taught not too long ago. I believe it might have been Brian with Top Contractor School. We were talking about some stuff, just kind of like promotional type things and how to like kind of grow people in an organization and how to kind of use those metrics. And we actually took the idea and kind of implemented it in our own way in our company. And it's using the acronym of PIE, right? P-I-E. And PIE, the way we have it set up, P stands for your performance. How would you rate your overall performance on a day-to-day basis? I stands for image. How do people view you? Are you seen as a leader? Are you seen as somebody who's willing to put in the work, who's able to do the tasks, whatever it may be? And then your exposure is, are you putting yourself out there? Are you exposing yourself to the people around you, becoming vulnerable, taking the lead, taking initiative or taking ownership on things, whatever it may be? Like, what's your exposure like to your team around you? So by using this acronym of PIE, you're kind of like just having three very basic things to kind of measure yourself on. What's my performance? What's my image to those around me? And what's my exposure to my team? And the more that you think about that, then the more that you combine that with being able and willing to do whatever it is that you need to do, right? I can't speak so specifically to each individual person listening to this, but whatever it is that you're either trying to achieve, being asked to achieve, have been told that there's opportunities, whatever it may be, grade yourself on that. Am I able to do what it is that I'm trying to do? Yes or no? If you are, am I willing to do what it is that I'm being asked to do or trying to do? If you are, then go freaking do it. Step up, get uncomfortable, be willing to fail. Make sure your performance is at an all-time high. Performance isn't perfection. Performance is doing the work. Performance is being willing to step up and to work hard and to learn and to grow, right? Make sure your image is that of a leader. Make sure it's that of somebody who's willing to take a chance and take a risk and take ownership and initiative to try and better the people around you, not just yourself. And then the exposure, make sure you're getting in front of people. Make sure you're recruiting people to help achieve these things, to join the missions. Because the more that you do that, like I said, the more opportunity will present itself to you. So it's something that really goes in line with what I've always been taught when it comes to leadership, business ownership, and things like that, is that you have to become the person that is able to handle whatever things get thrown on your plate. You have to become the person to carry the weight of that leadership, of that role, of that position, of that company, whatever it may be. Same thing in any other position you may be in. You have to become that person first before you will be awarded the opportunity to carry that weight. And I say that very specifically, that you are awarded the opportunity to carry the weight, because most people would rather take a life full of comfort. They would rather take the easy way out. They would rather take, whatever is the path of least resistance to just get through, just get to the weekend, Just get to retirement. Just get to the end of your life. Like that's all you're doing at that point. And so if you're trying to build yourself to be somebody who has the opportunity to carry the weight, to carry the burden of being a leader, being somebody who makes a difference, then you have to be able and willing. Like I said, being able is skills, it's knowledge, it's things that you can learn, that you can grasp, that you can teach yourself, you can get taught, whatever it may be. And being willing starts in your heart. It starts in your character. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to break the sweat? Are you willing to take the risk, take the chance, whatever it may be? Because I don't believe that anybody ever achieved anything great by not being able or willing. And it's my guess that if you're listening to this or watching this show, that you are like me and that you want to achieve something great. So that's my encouragement to you on this Wednesday. Like I said, finish the week strong. There's a couple days left in this week before we hit the holidays, and just make sure to make every little bit count. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. As always, if you need anything from me,